AITA for wearing a wedding dress at a wedding? So my friend 20F and I 19 meters have been friends for a few years and she recently got engaged. A week ago I got a DM from her for a small costume party she was hosting as a celebration for her getting engaged. I asked if there was a theme and she said there wasn't. I'm a cosplayer so I had a lot of choices. I didn't want to rock up in an anime cosplay, so I thought it would be funny to go to an engagement party as the corpse bride. I arrived at her house yesterday and everything seemed normal. A few people complimented my costume and I was having a lot of fun. After 10 minutes my friend's fiancé walked out in a black tuxedo and announced this was actually their wedding. Apparently my friend saw a video of someone doing this and wanted to do the same. He asked us all to go to the backyard for the ceremony to begin. I went straight to him. I asked him if I should quickly go home and change my outfit and that I would get back before it started. He told me it was fine since I didn't know this was the wedding. I trusted him and followed everyone outside. They got married and everything seemed good. The reception was just in their house again, so everyone just walked back inside and picked up where they left off. I tried talking to my friend and celebrating with her, but she kept making excuses to not talk to me. I assumed it was just because she was tired from the big day and wanted some alone time. I didn't bother her after that and the party soon ended. I got home and half an hour passed when my phone started getting notifications. I checked and it was my friend texting me. She was cussing me out and telling me how I ruined her wedding. I was really confused and asked what I did. That only made her more angry. She told me it was basic knowledge not to wear a wedding dress to a wedding. I reminded her I had no idea it was a wedding and that I asked her now husband if I should change. And he said it was fine. She didn't respond, but I got a text from her husband. He asked why I would tell her. He said it was fine. I told him. He said it was fine. Then he said how I should have changed anyways and it's my fault that the two are now fighting over this. I've tried texting her that I was sorry and if I had known I wouldn't have done it. I woke up today and saw her and her husband have blocked me on everything. So, AITA for not changing out of the wedding dress when I found out it was actually a wedding? Edit. I am a guy. I cosplayed the character Emily from The Corpse Bride and had blue paint all over. I'm also Australian and I've never heard a costume party meaning fancy. Everyone was dressed up in funny costumes. I don't know if people read properly, but I am a cis man. NTA. You were invited to a costume party and wore a costume. I woke up today and saw her and her husband have blocked me on everything. Thanks God. I think this is a good solution. They are so stupid. I'm speechless. Who the hell invites PPL to a costume party? Not mentioning it was actually a wedding and then blame you for wearing a costume. SMH. Up. You might want to fix the custom party typo because it seems like people aren't realizing you wore a costume to a costume party. You were told it was a costume party for an engagement celebration. Choosing a corpse bride costume makes sense. You gave the groom a chance to tell you if you needed to change when you found out it was a surprise wedding. It's not your fault he chose to throw you under the bus when the bride got upset. You did nothing wrong. NTA. Wow. OP's friend is a piece of work. Her wedding was just a couple hours ago, and she's already forgotten that it was a surprise party no one knew about. What really makes this whole thing funny is that she felt that a man wearing blue paint upstaged her at her wedding. Maybe she should fire her stylist. NTA. NTA. The facts of this are pretty simple. 1. You were told this is a costume party so you wore a costume. Point 2. When asked about a theme you were not given any restrictions. Point 3. They sprung a surprise wedding on you. Point 4. Once you realized this, you asked the groom if you should go home and change, and the groom said no. They had multiple chances to get you to change and they didn't take any of them, so getting mad with you after the fact doesn't make any sense. Edited format. Mobile is hard. NTA. Your friend and her husband are idiots. If she didn't want to risk anyone coming as a corpse bride, zombie bride, or bride of Frankenstein, then she would have said, the costume party theme is. But she didn't. That's on her. You also asked if you should go home and change. But the groom said it was fine. Or else you would have missed the wedding. It's not your fault because you didn't know. Yeah, maybe you could have gone change because grooms can be a bit obtuse at times. Let's be honest. But again, you would have missed the wedding. Edit. A word. NTA. Am I losing my mind, or did no one else actually read the whole post? It was a costume engagement party, and TBH, I thought showing up as the corpse's bride was a little funny considering the reason for being there. You even asked the groom if you should quickly change once you found out they were having a surprise wedding now, and he said no. Your friend needs to learn that when suddenly dumping a surprise on people like this, sometimes things aren't always perfect 100%. Not your fault. I love when I read a headline and instantly form my opinion, but the story completely changes it. NTA. And you're probably better off without people like them in your life. They're both assholes. NTA. These people are far too immature to be married. It's probably better for you that they blocked you. No one needs that kind of drama. You wore a costume that included a nod to the apparent point of the party, their engagement, to get married. I wouldn't expect most people to get upset by that costume at a costume party. Man shrugging. As to them running a bait and switch, then complaining that your costume wasn't appropriate for the wedding you didn't know you were attending, then complaining that you said that the husband told you not to go home and change just because. That's actually what he said, and holy dooly. All I can say is this couple has 99 problems and you aren't actually one of them. You're just a convenient distraction from yelling at each other. Bonus points if they unblock you in 2 weeks to complain that they haven't received a wedding present from you yet. NTA. Good lord, this is what you end up with when 20-year-olds get married. NTA. If I had been that bride, so many of my pictures would have included the corpse bride. Many jokes and puns would have been made. I would have sent someone home to quickly get into corpse groom costume. These people have no chill. NTA. NTA. A male corpse bride for a costume party for an engagement is perfect and right on theme. You had enough foresight to think about changing the costume before the wedding even though you didn't know there was a wedding. Groom is trying to backpedal that he screwed up the opportunity for you to change. This couple kind of sounds like a nightmare. I think he dodged a bullet with them blocking you. It sounded like a cool costume, and it's not like a male corpse bride is going to upstage the actual bride. NTA. These people are petty and ridiculous. Good riddance. NTA. You didn't wear a wedding dress to a wedding. You wore a wedding dress to a costume party. And your friend just decided to get married at the costume party. Your friend and her husband are both way too immature to be getting married. BTW. She was mad that surprising guests with a wedding resulted in being unable to control them and is taking it out on you. And her husband, who had the common sense to know better and thus was initially fine with things, has thrown you under the bus to save his new marriage. This whole ass couple has made you a scapegoat for whatever issues they actually have. Wash your hands of them. Honey, wash your hands. NTA. You offered to change and was told not to, and it would be fine by the groom, who then backpedaled and retrospectively said you should have got changed, despite at the time saying you shouldn't. If the bride and groom want to play stupid games, they get stupid prizes. I'm assuming they are aware of your passion for cosplay and they assumed you would show up in fancy dress. But you took attention from the bride. NTA. They chose not to tell anyone it was a wedding, and asked people to wear costumes without giving any further information, restrictions. The bride told you, when you asked for clarification, that there was no theme. The bridegroom told you, when you apologized and asked if he wanted you to go change, that you didn't need to change out of the costume. What more could you possibly have done? You asked both of them for direction and neither of them indicated a problem until after the fact. You aren't a mind reader. How is this even real? I'm floored. NTA. Listen, here's the thing. Your friend is 20 and she pulled together a half-assed wedding because she saw something online. Her now husband told you it was fine. And instead of owning up to his mistake with his new bride, he threw you under the bus to save his sorry ass. I give this wedding 6 months. Tops. I wouldn't even worry about this at all. You do you. And let that hot mess sort itself out.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.